Go.
This is Fred Beck from Fred Talks Fighting. I'm joined by Liam Chivers over Zoom. Liam's been delaying this interview so he can get that Gibb and Slim poster up in the background of his room. And now he's got it up. He's happy to do one. Liam, how is everything?
I'm good. I'm good, Fred. I only got back yesterday, really. So yeah, you've been waiting for everyone to return to their offices and jumping on everybody, no doubt. Everyone
Yeah,
trying to get over their colds of the flights.
now I send the spam inboxes of all the hey, do you want to do an interview to every
We
fighter at
saw
five
enough of you
important
last week,
squad.
Fred. I bet you get that. No, Fred, give us a break.
Yeah, leave us alone, Fred. Please stop. Leave me alone. Stop calling me. Stay out of my messages. But
Still
no.
got a business to run, haven't you, Fred?
The train never stops moving. Yeah, I wish.
Yeah,
I always think
yeah, yeah.
after a fight can just have like 2 weeks off or 3 weeks off or whatever. But
You
no,
can't. Well, there's
so
always another event in there. Or what's the next one you're going to cover? That's probably January now, I guess.
yeah. So have it. December will be more quiet month. Then January into Tommy versus Till, and then Wade and
Yeah,
HS as well. That's a really good one.
that's come out of nowhere, hasn't it?
Did you know about that?
No, no,
Oh
no idea.
wow.
Had no clue.
We'll talk about that a little bit later though. We'll go straight into it. Gibb and Slim. Gibb with a very dominant performance. Exactly
Yeah.
how you imagined it.
As I'd hoped, I think, yeah, you never knew quite. I mean, obviously, Slim been working really hard, hadn't he? He was looking for the KSI tag team and obviously working with his coach over a prolonged period. You can see he was getting fitter and stronger and shedding pounds and looking. He was obviously getting improving as well as Gibb was as well. So we didn't know quite how good he'd be. But as you know, the team are pretty clued up. Gibb, I don't think he gets the credit for how much he thinks about the sport, how much he puts into it. Learning the sport, not just getting fit. He's not just a cardio king as people keep talking about. I think he just showed he has got enough variety to to match up against any shapes and sizes. I think that's what he's shown now. The walking down Jarvis one, the bigger reach of Slim. It's game plan, but it's also learning those skills. And I think it was just he knew, and the team knew that's what he could do, and it would literally just be a case of you just got to take a few of Slim's positives out of it, and it should be comfortable. And I think it was.
Was there any worry for you beforehand? The fight nerves get you at all?
Fight was pretty chill. I mean, everyone's going, "Oh, look how confident Slim is," and he's going over and over, and he's got the backing of JJ, and he's going, "I promise you, I'm going to knock this guy out." And he truly seemed to believe it. But behind the camera, you can see he's trying to talk himself up. But off camera, Gibb was as confident as Slim was portraying on camera. Not one inch like part of concern at all week being round Gibb. And if the fight is that confident and not showing nerves, whilst keeping their cool to a degree, you just know they're in a good headspace and they know they've got it. And then you don't you get nervous literally just as they're walking out, really.
Did Gibb
Warm up
carry
was
it?
great. Everything was fantastic. The fight we went really quite smoothly, and so there was never any nerves really. Everyone knew he could do it. Of course, this is boxing. One rogue punch. Everyone's got a puncher's chance. Especially someone like Slim as well. If Gibb made a mistake, you can't control that, can you? But you just know what good form he was in, and the chances were slim, literally. Um, but you always get a little bit nervous, of course.
Did Gibb carry any injuries going into the fight?
No, not really. Obviously, it's training niggles here and there, and you've got sore muscle here and there, but no, no, nothing, nothing at all. He was in
And
good
it was
shape.
a pretty smooth fight week for you. There was any pop-ups? I know that they're
Yeah,
quite
I mean,
back in rounds issue. Kenya's so happy. There's nothing really for you guys to worry about too much.
no, I mean, obviously, it was just the promo went a little bit towards the JJ and the spa stuff, and that was, but it wasn't even, Gibb didn't even get affected at all by that. Obviously, Leon took that on board. I'd say that the fight week was fantastic. Qatar was great. Yeah, there was a level of, it was fairly slightly elongated fight week, a lot of different promotional and sponsor obligations on top of the usual sort of just broadcasters and press. But we knew that, and we were ready for that, and we had it all scheduled in, and it went really quite smoothly, and it was really great out there. There was nothing I can think of that were any hiccups at all. Getting to Qatar up to that point then has been a very long road, as we've spoke about in other interviews, but fight week itself was really enjoyable. Yeah, it was great.
And then what was going on before the fight? About an hour and a half before with the gloves, I saw on Twitter.
Gloves. Yeah. Wasn't going to bring this up, but obviously Misfits were in the dressing room with filming stuff, and they've captured all this on camera, really. So yeah, no, the gloves. Yeah, no, Leon mentioned it last night. Obviously, there's a video of him checking their gloves and them being a little bit sus. So the day before at the at the official weigh-in in the morning and the doctor's checks and the licensing forms, you also then hand in your gloves. You can't do a glove check then You're literally just handing them in, and you can look at each other's gloves, but you can't open the packaging until fight night. So you always bring at least two pairs in. He bought two exactly identical green Grants in, as he always does. And Slim didn't have two identical ones. He had one pair of official gloves, nice looking pair of those Leons, nicely, customized with his name on, and they look lovely. They were all bagged up nicely. And then his spare pair were like some white pair, which weren't customized, didn't have his name on or anything, but just obviously like I was just thinking, oh, maybe he's just being tight and he didn't want to buy two pairs because some pairs of gloves, when you customize them, can be a bit of money. And Slim obviously isn't the most wealthy of all the boxers. So I thought, well, maybe he's just bought the one pair and just to satisfy the commission, he's brought a spare pair, which he'll never use anyway. And worst case scenario, there's other spares, as our spare, if he needed it. So we looked at the glove check, and it was just a bit odd because the blue ones, they looked fine. They look good puncher's gloves, maybe a little soft, but they were fine. You can't really tell through the bags. Abdul was having a little play with them. We didn't really look at the white ones. They just felt very light. I thought, well, they're just, I don't know, they're just like from a kid's store or something. I don't know what they are. And the comments, the sort of reactions, like Slim was saying, "Oh yeah, I went with these, so you got no excuses. I'm not using Grant, so when I not Gibb out." It's like little comments, and then Andre was saying things like, "Oh, I've never seen anyone touch gloves quite as much as that," to Abdul when he was feeling the blue ones. It was like little things to stop us looking at the gloves. It was a bit odd. It just came back to me the next day, but that's probably just me, from a psychology degree, a little bit over it. And we didn't. Who cares? He was going to wear the blue gloves. So then the next day, yeah, they bring your gloves into the dressing room. And they just brought one pair. Normally they bring both in. They say, which one do you want to use? Say, well, it doesn't matter. They're the same. But they only brought one pair in. So I said, oh, where's our spare pair? Just because obviously after they're not cheap and you want to keep them to train in and to keep anyway because you've paid for them. I said, so where's the spare pair so I can come and get them afterwards? Like, so I don't know. I don't know. I said, oh, you haven't given them to another dressing room by accident, have you? Or Slim or whatever. And he went, no, no, let me go find out. He says, oh yeah, they're all under the ring at ringside, the spare pairs. Let me show you where they are. So I said, oh great. And as we were walking there, he said, "Oh no, he hasn't given them to Slim. Slim's wearing a pair of white gloves." I was like, "White gloves? He's got a blue pair of gloves." And as we arrived at the ringside, he lifted. There's a big like carrier bag underneath the ring. He went, "There you go. There's your gloves. There's Slim's spares." And there was Slim's blue customized main pair had become his spare pair. So I'm thinking, have we been played here? Because no one really put any attention. And what are these white gloves? We weren't allowed to open them and check them at the when we handed them in, but you are, and we were allowed to check the gloves when you go in and check. When you watch each other do the wraps, right? At that point, that's your chance to actually check the gloves. And so I was remembering I got to send Leon in to go and check these gloves. And so we did ours. They did our hand wraps. Leon went in there, and as he went out, I told him the story. I said, "Look, I've got a little suspicion about these gloves. I don't like what's happened, the way that this has been switched without it being told, and the fact that I'd seen the spare pair being the blue. I knew for a fact it was white." And I said, "Why is he switched?" He said, "Oh, it's just because it goes with his outfit better." I'm like, I don't know. I swear he's not even wearing white or blue. The outfit was just the guise. So I said to Leon, when you go, you got to check those gloves. I'm really suspicious about those gloves. And he went in and he's checked them and he's done that. There's nothing there at all. There's just no padding. The leather on the top's all stretched. It's literally empty. They weigh nothing. So there would have been no protection. They would definitely wouldn't have weighed 10 ounces. And so Leon just said no. And they didn't even question it, did they, on the video? They were like, Andre looked, completely shell-shocked, corrupt, really, really nervous and guilty. And Slim didn't even react. They didn't even say, oh, no, we're wearing this. There was no argument. They just accepted, yeah, we'll wear the blue ones then. So they obviously, they tried it on with some dodgy gloves. So that's what that came about last night. And so look, I wasn't going to bring it up at all. The result was the result. They wore the blue, but the fact it was on video and it's out on social media now, people are like, well, what was that about? I don't understand what that video's about. So there's you go. There you go. If it were, it could be completely innocent and say, yeah, oh, no, I thought white went better with my outfit, which it clearly didn't do. They were blue and white or white and blue. And I gather he left his actual outfit at home, but that was nothing to do with it. I think there's a bit of a play there, a little bit cheeky. But like Leon said, the wily fox got caught.
Yeah, Leon's had a massive PR boost to that one, especially when I think of one video. So yeah, good for Leon in that way. I
Yeah,
guess it's the only interesting issue that kind of happened before the fight properly.
yeah.
I mean, the fight went as expected,
Mm.
and then you kind of got the issue now. Gibbs gone on holiday. How long is he on holiday for? He's got to China, I think.
He's traveling. He's doing a shootout with some YouTubers. Won't blow the video, nice big video, and then he's going to be going a few other places. He's going to see his family as well, and then we'll assess. But Gibb, he's not going to be in any rush until there's something. He needs to recover. This has been a really long camp. Don't forget, this was meant to be a two-fight camp with the tag team leading onto this. It became all towards this one. So it's been a very, it always seems to happen with Gibb. His camps are really extended. And, by the time, he's in a hard eight round fight, he's going to need a bit of time off. And we'll see where he wants to go and how the scene and how Misfits evolves in the meantime, because other people will fight again before him for sure.
Yeah, when I ever ask a question, or even I get asked a question about who gives fine next, there's not really a standout name. I guess Soul Papi is the most standout name, but I sort of feel he can have one more big win, and then he's right there, equal to fight Gibb. But just
Yeah,
not for
I
two
think for the
losses. I think he
sake
needs
of
one
the
more big win,
scene,
and then he's good.
I think you're right. I think there's no point potentially ruining that Salt Pappy revival too soon. You both People can have their own trajectories and lines, and then occasionally it gets to a point where it crosses, like this one, right?
Hmm.
Slim and Gibb, and then
Yeah,
it
this one is
crosses.
perfect, perfect storyline.
Gibb is here and Slim and Pappy is here still, but he's on that line now. And he needs to keep his own trajectory. Why not work towards his own headlines event in Philippines or whatever? But but the worst thing I think Misfits could do is try and force that fight, which it wouldn't make sense right now anyway. I'm sure Pappy would take it because he's looking for the next big fight, isn't he? But he should think more closely. Like if there's a risk, and I think he'd lose now, right now, he'd lose to Gibb, and that would almost put him back to where he was, and it would completely devalue the Kenny knockout, which was fantastic. He'd have just too many losses on his record, and then where does he go then? So I think he's got to bolster that, try and catch Gibb up, get some extra fights in, have people talk about it seriously, and who knows down the line. Gibb wants the big fights. Slim, he's the best now. Until Pappy is considered that, with no question, it's not an option really, is it? It's who's the top at the time. And if that and Misfits evolve so quickly, they keep having so many great new fighters from different genres and fight sports coming on now. Look at Till and Fury and all these people. Talks of different fighters all the time, aren't there? Who knows in 6 months who's going to be making moves and shaking the ground a little bit in Misfits, who might be an option for Gibb. I think we've just got to see where it evolves right now, but I just don't think they should throw Pappy in, risk Pappy's revival ending too soon. That's how I feel.
You think Gibb would KO Salt Pappy?
He could stop points, outwork him, stop him, knock him out. Yeah, Gibbs got many routes to victory, hasn't he? I mean, Slim had a great chin on a few, but and Gibb played it to win the fight. Did take a couple of risks now and again, and he'll improve with the guys on a few. But we've always known certain people have got good chins, and but it just takes one shot from Gibb. He can connect at any time, just like well, not just like anyone else, only like he can.
Did you see Osman Broom react to the fight?
Yeah,
So, he
that's
wants to
fair.
fight again
I
now.
do feel bad for. I mean, regardless of the hate and the crap he brought on himself from the not paying his fighters, other than Gibb and Deji on the first one, and the way it went with the second one, with he'd had enough, his ribs were done, and he faked the injury just to get out of there. That's fine because it does just show we don't really know. Obviously, he's way below Gibbs level, but we don't know really where he is. He could be in that mix with the Slims, the Pappies. Kenny's before the weekend. He could be in that sort of level, but he never got the chance because Gibb just ended him so badly. His whole life got turned upside down from family life to everything. So it was a horrible time for McBroom, and yeah, no, I feel a little bit bad for him, but I think it's fair to say, he's better than people think he is. Just Gibb, just obviously is put him to bed for a lot. I don't know if he'll ever come back, but yeah, I quite like I quite felt a bit bad for him when I saw that TikTok.
Well, I imagine Gibb would want McBroom to fight again because then you can find out. Then Gibbs' win will probably mean more. If McBroom goes and fights and beats someone else, then the value of Gibbs' win against McBroom or the two wins will go up even more because he's much
Well, I
more
think the first one had huge
rating.
value, and people can look back on it because it was so dominating. And then the second one, the way it ended, people could try and devalue it a little bit, but I think at the time it was valued pretty high, wasn't it? I think that the scene moves. People don't like to go back in time, do they, to try and give more credit for certain wins, not more than just a single tweet. But it would be great even if McBroom did come back, though. Now I don't think he'd be quite the same guy as he was ready for the first Gibb fight. Will we ever see the true potential of McBroom, even if he did come back? I don't know.
We'll wait and see. I don't think he'll come back, but you never know. I'd imagine most people do come back around eventually. I imagine for Gibb, he'll probably fight again in about a year's
This
time
might
or
be
a year
the
and a
thing.
half.
The fact that Gibb comfortably beat Slim may give is another. It must run through Austin's
It'll
mind.
give him
This.
confidence, I reckon. It'll give him a lot more confidence. But okay, maybe I'm not as bad as I thought.
Yeah. No, true. He knows he's not. He's just trying to tell everybody else he's not. So yeah, the next step would be have a fight.
But yeah, I reckon my prediction of this is we'll be talking about a year and a half's time or about a year's time, and then Gibb will come back and fight some new star on the scene who we haven't seen yet. Because there isn't a standout name for Gibb to fight. There's no clickbait or title or answer you can really say for Gibb to fight.
And I think a lot of the thing with Gibb is as well, the timeout builds that anticipation again, doesn't it? It it really it's always going to be simmering now. You know, he's fought on Misfits, he's around the scene. Everyone's going to be talking about it until it happens again, and that's great. You know, that would have been good for JJ and Jake Paul if it had happened by now. That period of time has to be more than just, oh, let's fight every 3 months. It devalues not just the fighter, but just the build up of when the really big fight comes too. So, you know, he'll keep training. He'll be ready, but it could be 3 months, it could be a year, like you say.
Wait and see. A few more things ready to go. HS Tiki and Wade Plem. That's a very, very good fight. A lot of hype will be introduced throughout that fight. Your thoughts on the matchup? You got Wade, the biggest guy in the scene who's never fought, and then HS Tiki, up and comer. It's a pretty good matchup.
I think your first reaction is what is Wade doing? Does he think he's better than he is? I don't know. Is that what you think? I haven't seen a lot of Wade. Let's put it that way. I haven't seen a lot of HS either, obviously, other than an easy fight. He looks a good athlete, doesn't he? Is Wade that good an athlete? He might just be a good skilled fighter. Who knows? I don't know how good Wade is. I don't know how, and it's coming soon as well. I don't know. It's can Wade hack? Is Wade ready for it? If he thinks he's ready for it, great. You have to believe he thinks he is ready for it. Is it just a way of him staying in the scene and keeping relevant and building his profile or risking his profile? Is it a bit of that? I don't know. What do you think?
Well, he's always stayed very, very relevant. I mean, his YouTube
Yeah.
numbers are averaging 100K views every video, or practically every
So why
video.
does he need to fight then? Did he
I
just hate
think
having
I
to cover
interviewed
this
him.
event without being at it?
No, because he's doing very well. His live streams do very, very well. His live stream with his dad watching Mike Tyson did 10 million views on a live. So he's at the top of his game as he's ever been. But I interviewed him yesterday and he just wants to kind of tick that box, say, oh, I fought that one time. Because he doesn't plan on having like many fights, like one or two, or maybe three,
Yeah.
absolutely
Why
pushing
so
it.
soon
But
though? Like January's really just around the corner. Will he be ready
well,
for that?
I imagine he's been training as well. It's not he doesn't start training from today. He's been training for
Sure.
the last few weeks as well.
Sure, but HS is quite considered a potential star. Not
Mm.
necessarily whether you
The
like him
narrative is
personality
that
wise or not, in
HS
terms of
isn't
a fighter.
the narrative, I guess, is that HS is the most disciplined person and hasn't been training too much. I mean,
Yeah, catch him
we
while
all
he's
saw
cold a bit.
we all saw the video of him on TikTok. They put on Twitter and on TikTok him saying, "Oh, Misfits has asked me to fight next week. I haven't trained whatsoever. I'm gonna go as far
Yeah.
now and see if I'm good enough." So
Yeah, good idea. If it has to be HS, don't give him a year. Yeah, but you know how well he spent that year, you don't know. But Wade's willing to, yeah, nip it
I
in the
mean,
bud
it
early.
all adds to the interest as well of Wade returning and whatnot. Anything else ready to go? Anything else coming up for you? Your guys, Jay Swingler, he's spoken to Jay at all since the card?
No, just during fight week. Obviously, I only got back yesterday. Spoke a lot with Nick actually the day after the fight, and you know he was asking about what would Jay think of this and his performance, and Nick was really disappointed, wasn't he, about his decision, and he felt he did well, and he was just looking for confirmation from people like Jay that he'd improved and he did well because he really cares what people in the scene think about him. I haven't spoke to Jay yet. We need to catch up and get on. You know, obviously he's more childish and more YouTube stuff and things planning at the moment, but fighting isn't top of the agenda. It's not as if I'm going to say, hey, do you think you ever get over this? Should we look at for another fight? That's not quite the timing, is it? So yeah, Jay will just be doing Jay. It'll have been quite hard for him last week not being there. But I'm sure we'll see him around the scene in some capacity in due course.
When's Ali A gonna fight?
Oh, are you looking at the hoodie? Never. He'll just fight people in Fortnite.
Ali A versus Myth. Oh, but ages ago, it was Tipu versus Myth. Everyone was talking about that fight
Yeah,
happening.
Tifa and the Myth. Why didn't they fight?
That's a good point. Myth actually looked alright. He fought
Yeah, he
Chivers
did.
on the chest. Do you watch it on the chess boxing? He
It was a
actually looked
chess one.
pretty.
Yeah, yeah. People were
Yeah,
saying I swear, Mam said he's coming on Misfits. I swear he said he was.
that's a good point. I'll
Don't know
just
what
check it
happened
out.
there. Check that
Myth
out.
just
Yeah,
probably didn't want to, I guess. Otherwise we would have heard from him, but I
yeah,
don't know. That's a good point. I'll ask Mams about Myth next time. He's a big name as well.
yeah.
And he didn't look too bad either when he's fighting
No,
Chivers. But yeah, Liam, that's great. That's the wrap. I do appreciate your time. I'll speak to you next when some more news on Gibb. I mean, Gibb doesn't fight too often, so I'll probably see you in like a year's time if Jay's not even fighting either.
You'll see us. Hopefully, I'll come up to January and see what's going on.
You're gonna be there for the January card.
Possibly, yeah. Either the for the night day before or just the event I'll pop up for. Yeah, it'd be nice to be there.
Would Gibb ever consider doing? I probably it's probably gonna be a no, but would he ever want to do like commentary or punditry or anything like that, or would that be
Well, he
a
did it once before, didn't he? He was on the Sky Sports. He joined the broadcast for JJ Logan on the UK commentary, if you remember, with Bazinga and Weller. Um, he might do, but again, it's not something that's particularly he cares much for. If it was a fight he really wanted and he was chasing, for example, yeah, maybe. But if it's just people who he feels aren't quite on his level, there's no real point being
I
there.
feel like he would do more like of a thing where he goes on True George's live stream and watches one of the Riyadh season cards or something like that. I feel like that's more his cup of tea. I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe, yeah. But that would be if if Geordie asked him nicely rather than him wanting to do it. Yeah, who
Yeah,
knows? I hadn't thought about it. Give the guy a break for a while.
yeah. When will his video come out of him talking about the win and everything?
Gibb.
Yeah, wouldn't he do like a I won video type style?
Well, he did the highlight, didn't he, from Sam, our cameraman's perspective
Oh,
straight
was he
away.
annoyed by KSI's commentary?
We watched the fight back actually about when we got back to the hotel about 3 a.m. with some Shake Shack burgers and put the fight on. He just kept grinning every time KSI was going, oh, and Slim's soaking these punches up easy. And it's like, oh, Gibb's not fast enough and this, that, the other. And oh, Slim definitely did enough that round. It was like the whole room was just like, it was embarrassing to listen to. And I think everyone realized, if anyone who didn't realize it and didn't know boxing, there couldn't have been very many people who actually were swayed by JJ's commentary, but it was a little bit of a like, what is he playing at? But it was almost laughable. It was like people weren't sort of dissing it too many. At
You
most, it
think
was like, oh,
KSI
what an
calmed
idiot.
down after like round three? Someone would have told him to be quiet after round
A
three.
little bit later than that,
Yeah.
he's still, and even at the end, he's going, oh, I think Slim's done enough. It's like, did you hear what Callis said in the after Slim was like, oh yeah, did I win? How did I do? Calla went up to him and said, not your night, mate. He says, oh, I thought I did well. So his mate, you didn't win a round. It's like he said straight to Slim. Oh, that was hilarious. So yeah. Oh well, maybe he just heard a bit too much of the commentary live.
I don't know. We'll see when I catch up with Slim in a few days. But yeah, Liam, as always, thanks very much, mate.
My man, yeah, catch you soon.